This video is a tutorial for iMovie for the iPad. iMovie is Apple's own video editing app, and whilst it doesn't have all the features of some other apps out there, it is a very capable piece of software. Typically for Apple, its user interface is built on minimalism. This means that many of the key features are hidden behind different menu options. That's what we're going to have a look at in today's video. When you open up iMovie, you're given a few different options. Along the top we can see Video, Projects and Theatre. Projects is currently selected. From here I can create a new project or open an existing one. The next option along is Theatre. Exports that I've made from iMovie can be put in the Theatre, and if I want I can sync this over iCloud and it can appear on other devices too, such as the Apple TV. The first tab is for Video. This shows the videos that are currently available on my camera roll. I'm going to go back to the Projects tab and create a new project. When I tap on this, it gives me two options. I can either create a movie, which gives me a blank canvas to work with, or I can choose Trailer, which relies on inbuilt templates to create a short project. For now, I'm going to choose Movie. The next menu allows you to choose clips to import into your new project. If I tap on a clip, a menu appears. If I tap play, I can get a quick preview of the content of that clip. And if I'm happy, I can tap on the tick icon to select it. I can make multiple selections before I create my movie. Once I'm happy with the selections I've made, at the bottom I can tap on Create Movie. This automatically imports all of the clips onto my timeline. The user interface of iMovie is split into three different areas. In the top left I can see a preview of the project that I'm working with. To the right I have a panel where I can add extra videos, photos or audio. And at the bottom I have my timeline with a playhead that shows me where I am in the project. Let's have a look now at some of the visible elements of the user interface. In the top left corner I have the word Done, and if I tap this, it takes me back to the project overview. I can tap Edit to get back inside. Along the top, just past halfway, I can see a circle with a question mark inside. This gives me prompts of some of the different aspects of the user interface. I can turn this on or off. Next to that, I have a settings icon. This is for project settings, meaning that any settings that I change here affect every single clip in the project. I can choose a project filter, and there are several of which to choose from. Below that, I can choose a theme. A theme contains different styles of music, transitions and text. I have several different options to choose from, such as news, travel and modern. For now, I'm going to put it back to simple. Below that, I have options of whether or not I want the theme music to be played throughout, if I want a fade in and a fade out at the beginning and the end of the movie, and the last option allows me to choose whether or not the pitch of the audio changes if I change the speed of a clip. Now let's have a look at the timeline along the bottom of the screen. Towards the left, I can see a microphone icon, and if I tap on that, I can record a voiceover in my project. Next to that is a camera icon. I can record video or take photos directly into iMovie. Towards the centre of the timeline, I can see a rewind button and a play button. By tapping and holding on a blank space in the timeline, I can move to a different part of the project. I can also make use of pinch to zoom to change the size of each clip within the timeline. Now here's a couple of handy hints to get very quickly to the beginning or the end of your project. If I tap and hold on the left part of the timeline, it takes me all the way to the beginning of the project. If I tap and hold on the right of the timeline, it takes me all the way to the end. If you have a physical keyboard attached to your iPad, You can also make use of keyboard shortcuts. These would include things like the spacebar to play and pause, or the arrow keys to change frame. If you would like to see a list of the keyboard shortcuts available to you, press and hold the Command key. Now the clips on my timeline are in this order because that's what iMovie did when I imported them all together. But if I want to change the order of the clips, this is very simple. If I tap and hold on a clip, I can drag it to a different part of the timeline to rearrange. It is also possible for me to trim a clip from the beginning or the end. If I tap on a clip, I can see it's now selected with a yellow border, and there are thicker handles at the beginning and the end of the clip. If I tap and hold on one of these handles and drag inwards, I can change the starting point and the end point of the clip. It is also possible for me to rotate a clip after I've imported it. In the preview screen at the top, if I tap and hold on the screen with 2 fingers and then turn them like I'm turning a dial, this is how I can rotate the clip. It is also possible for me to split a clip into multiple segments. If I tap on a clip, a menu appears at the bottom. The first option here we have is Split. As you can now see, the clip I had before is now separated into 2 sections. I can also split a clip by moving the playhead to where I would like the split to occur, tapping on the clip and swiping down over the clip to create the split. It's at this point I'll show you about undo and redo. At the top right of the timeline, I can see the undo icon. By tapping this, I can go back various steps if I've made a mistake. And if I tap and hold on that icon, I also have the option to redo as well. Now let's have another look at that menu that appeared when I tapped on a clip. I have many different options here. Next to split, I can choose if I want to detach the audio. This is useful if I want to work with multiple clips that have the audio from one clip overlap onto another. We'll have a look at some audio editing options later on. Along from there, I also have the option to duplicate a clip as well. Below those 3 options, I have different categories. Currently, we're under Actions. If I go to Speed, I can change the speed of a clip. You can see a slider in between a hare and a tortoise. If I drag this slider to the left, the clip will slow down, and if I drag it to the right, it will speed up. Just to the right of that, I have 3 options: Freeze, Add, and Reset. Freeze will create a freeze frame and hold it for as long as you choose. But next to that is Add, and that's a really important option because this lets me create speed ramps in my project. If I move my playhead to where I'd like a speed change to start, select the clip and tap Add, you can see that the yellow selector on the clip has moved forwards. It's from this point that I can change the speed of my clip. So I'm going to have it speed up. If I move the playhead a bit further along, tap on the clip, and now I'm going to tap Add again, it's created a new section. And it's here I'm going to have the clip slow right down. Let's preview it and see what it looks like. At any point, I can tap the reset button to reset everything back to its original speed. The next one of our 5 icons along the bottom is for volume, and this is where I can change the volume of my clip. Next to that, I have titles, and this is where I can add different titles in different places in my film. With text selected, you can see I have a number of different animated title templates to choose from. I'm going to choose pop-up right at the end. You can now see title text here appears on my video, and if I tap on that once, I can change what the title says. Below this, I have a few different options as well. Currently, it's set to center, but if I choose lower, it would put the text in the bottom corner instead. Further along from that, I can choose whether or not I want the sound effect that's attributed to that particular text style to be played or not. Let's get a preview of what my title looks like. Now, as you can see, that title lasts for the entire length of that clip, and that's not something I want. To change the amount of time that text is displayed for, I need to create a split in my clip. To do that, just like before, I can tap on the clip and swipe down to create my split. Now, as you can see, the title appears on one part of the clip, but not the other. Even after I've edited my text, I can still change the animation that's attributed to it. If I choose one of the other templates, you can see my text still remains, as well as the split. The final option is for filters. Instead of filters being applied to an entire project like we saw at the start, I can do this on a clip-by-clip basis. I have a number of different filters to choose from. If I would like to delete a clip from the timeline, I can tap on it, and in the bottom right hand corner you can see the delete icon. This removes it from the project. Now you might notice in between my different clips I have a small square icon. These are my transitions. A square with a vertical line indicates there is no transition present, but a square with two triangles next to it says there is. If I tap on that icon, I have options for my different transitions. Right at the bottom, I have 6 different icons. I can choose between none, which means there's no transition. Whatever transition is part of the theme that I chose at the start. I can choose to have a cross dissolve, a slide, a wipe, or a fade. Above these 6 icons are some settings to let me change how long the transition lasts for. These go up in half-second increments. Along from that, I can choose whether or not I want the sound effect attributed to that transition style to be heard. I can do this by tapping on sound effects off or on. Now you'll notice with the transition selected, below that I have 2 yellow arrows, one pointing up, one pointing down. Now this allows me to change the placement of the transition in between the 2 clips. If I tap on those 2 arrows, you can see that I have a big yellow box, and if I tap and hold on those yellow boxes, I can choose the start and end point of the transitions for the different clips. To close this, I can tap on the yellow arrows again. Another very well hidden feature of iMovie is the ability to overlay clips or make use of split screen. To do this, I need to use the panel in the top right hand corner of the screen. If this isn't visible, you can tap on the plus icon right at the top, and then choose to add another clip. When I tap on a clip, a menu appears. The first option, which is a circle with a plus sign inside, allows me to add that clip straight to my timeline. If I don't want to add the entire clip, I can change the start and end points by dragging the yellow handles. Next to that is a play icon, and this will play a preview of the clip in the panel next to it. And then the last icon is 3 dots, and this is where we're going to be looking at overlaying clips or making use of split screen. If I tap on that, I can change how this clip is added to the timeline. The first option allows me to just add the audio from this clip into the timeline. Next to that, I have 2 overlaying squares, and if I tap that, the clip is added over the top of whatever clips I have in the timeline already. The next option along allows me to place a smaller version of the clip in one corner of the screen. And finally, the last icon allows me to make use of split screen. Now I can change how this split screen is viewed. If I tap on the clip that I've just added, you can see the menu with the 5 icons appear. One of these options is now different. The fourth one along says overlays. If I tap that, I can choose how this clip works inside the project. 6 icons appear at the top. The first one is a basic overlay, or I can add a small segment of the video just like you saw before. And then the next one allows me to change the positions of whether the clip is on the left or the right, or at the top and bottom. I'm now going to show you some of the different audio editing options available to you when you're using iMovie on the iPad. Now if we have a look at the timeline along the bottom, in the top right corner of the timeline I can see an audio button. And if I tap on that, I can get a preview of the waveform of the audio for each clip. This is very useful when I want to make very specific cuts in the clips and not impact the audio that can be heard. Now if I tap on a clip, I can choose Detach Audio. It also now gives me some audio editing options. Just like with clips, I have 2 handles at the beginning and the end, and I can tap and drag these to change the length of the clip. On the menu that appears below, I can split the audio just like I can with video. And to the right of that I can duplicate, but it's the option in the middle I want to take a moment to just explain. In iMovie, audio can be in the background or the foreground. Currently, this audio clip is set to the foreground. If I tap on background to change it, the colour of the audio changes, but you'll notice the audio clip has moved. Background audio cannot be moved from a different part of the timeline. It's stuck in place and designed to play throughout. If you've imported audio and that audio clip is green and you can't figure out why you can't move it to a different part of the timeline, this will be it. Tap on the audio and choose Foreground. That way you can move the audio to any part of the timeline you choose. Now below these 3 options I have my 5 icons that appear, but only 3 of them are active. Currently, Actions is selected. But I can also choose and change the speed. And just like with video clips, I have a slider in between a hare and a tortoise, and I can change the speed of that audio. I also have add and reset options as well. The last icon also allows me to change the volume of that clip. Now next to that you can see the word fade, and if I tap on that, you can see the handles at the beginning and the end of the selected audio clip have changed to yellow triangles. These allow me to add fade-ins and fade-out to the audio, and by tapping and dragging I can change the length of the fade-in and fade-out. If I want to delete an audio clip, I can by selecting it and then tapping the delete icon in the bottom right corner. I'm now going to exit this project by tapping Done in the top left corner, and then tapping Projects again to go back to the original screen. I'm now going to show you how to make use of trailers in iMovie. Trailers are templates that are built into iMovie to help you create a quick project. If I tap on the plus icon and choose Trailer, I'm now given many different templates to work with. The templates are based on different styles or genres of film. Each one of these templates will have different music and text styles, as well as different animations. If you would like to preview a clip, you can tap the play icon to see what it will be like. I'm going to choose Superhero. Now if I tap Create in the top right corner, I have a different workspace. On the left I can see a preview of my project, and to the right I have the different editing options. The panel on the right is separated into two tabs, Outline and Storyboard. Outline allows me to change the title of the movie, the cast members, as well as various other credits. To change the movie name or one of these other options, I can just tap on the field, delete the text that's already there, and type in what I want it to say. Now if we go to the Storyboard tab, this is where I can insert different video clips to form my trailer. The storyboard contains different clips that I will need to insert to create this project. To insert different clips, I can tap a different part of the storyboard to choose where I'd like to place it. And in the bottom left panel, I can choose which video I'd like to insert. When I tap on a clip, you can see that the beginning and end parts are already selected. This is because I can only insert clips of a set length. To change which portion of the clip I'm going to add, I can tap and hold on the yellow box and change the start and end point. I can tap on play to preview the clip, and the plus icon to insert it. If I go back to Outline and press play, I can see a preview of my trailer so far. Once you've finished creating your trailer, it will be ready for export. And it's these export options I'm going to look at now. I'm going to tap Done in the top left corner, and once again I'm going to tap Projects to go back to the main screen. Here we can see different projects I have available. I'm going to tap on my original project. This screen gives me an overview of the contents of the project. I can tap on the play icon to get a preview, and below that, where it says My Movie, I can tap and change the title of this project. If I want to edit this footage again, I can tap on Edit to take me back into the project. Then at the bottom, I have three icons. The first one is a play icon, which will give me a full screen preview of the project. But it's the one in the middle that I'd like to talk about now. This is the share icon. And when I tap this, I can send my project to another app, or I can choose Save Video to save it to my camera roll. Depending on the clips that you've imported into iMovie, it will give you different options for the resolution of the video. I can choose from a low resolution 360p all the way up to 4K. In 2018, Apple released an update to iMovie. This allows you to make use of external displays. If you have a newer iPad, such as an iPad Pro, as well as a Lightning to HDMI adapter, you can connect your iPad to an external display. And when you do this, on the timeline another icon appears. To the right of the audio icon, we can see the external display toggle. When I tap this, it will send a full screen preview of your project to your external display. This allows you to make good use of multiple screens when creating your video project. So that's the end of my tutorial for iMovie for the iPad. If you found this video useful, please like, comment and subscribe. And I'll be back soon with some more iPad tutorials.